Hello, boys, girls, cats, kittens, and all you cuddly people. It is another Testimony Tuesday, and y'all know I only bring y'all the creme de la creme, the best of the best, and I have another banger for you. This is Remnant Radio's own. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Remnant Radio's own. The amazing, the dynamic, the wonderful, the awesome, and fantabulous Tecarra Daniels, a.k.a. DJ Lady T. Now, if y'all haven't heard yet, y'all are going to hear the most amazing testimony of hope, restoration, love, and perseverance that y'all have ever heard in y'all entire life. And you're going to hear it together with me at the same time. At the same time, we are going to dive into Miss Tecarra's life, and she's going to tell us what's really going on. And we hoping to help somebody today. So I love y'all, and I want to introduce y'all to this beautiful lady. Now listen, fellas, we take requests now. She fine. I'm just saying, we take requests now. If you trying to interview, is chosenremnantr@gmail.com. Send all requests to the radio hotline. Or go ahead, DJ Lady T at remnantradio.online. Go ahead, send that email on them. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm serious. All right. So, girl, how are you? How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored.
You know what? Look, we always say that.
Grab it no other way.
We did that, and that's the I'm not gonna complain no matter what's happening or what's going on. That is the statement of the hour. I am blessed and highly favored. That is the one. So I don't know how fast or how slow you want to go. We have a whole hour to just be fantabulous. So what we're going to do is we going to dive in because I want you to tell my audience about you. So the first question we have is, who are you according to you, and what do you do?
Who am I according to me?
According to you.
According to me, I'm a person that God showed favor to. I am one of the chosen ones. I am human. I make mistakes. But this testimony is about how I made that mistake and I caught myself with God's grace and found out who I am. Not only who I am, but whose I am.
Woo! She done started already, Jesus. She done started already. So, let's talk about. So, we're going to talk about, because this question that I'm getting ready to ask you is probably going to be the question where all the meat and the potatoes are of your testimony. What's one challenge you faced that God turned around?
One of the challenges I face. Well, you wouldn't know by looking at me, but I am 51 days clean of crack cocaine. So I am a survivor. God brought me through in 2 years what some people have taken a whole lifetime and are still out there doing. He didn't let me bump my head because he has a greater purpose for me. I'm still growing. It's a hard struggle. Every day it's hard. But to make it 51 days, and some of you out there that may be listening may be in your addiction. Let me just let you know, don't be ashamed of what you do. Because you could always change what you do. Never be ashamed of nothing you do because that's something you wanted to do. But you can always change it. You gotta fall on your face. And you gotta really want to change. For 2 years I played it around, I did want to change. But once I fell on my face, now this is the part where I say that this is the part that's going to answer the question. I found myself in some situations where I should have been killed. I found myself in some situations where I didn't think there was no day out, no way out. I was in some houses looking at the door because I knew the police was just gonna kick the door in. But by God's grace, I didn't go to jail. I didn't die. Nobody laced my stuff, and my mind just snapped. When I was at my rock bottom, I said, God, I can't do this no more. I don't have my kids. It cost me my kids. It just woke me up. It woke me up in a way that, and I don't want to say it woke me up. Sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom before you can figure out what you work. I lost when I say I lost almost everything, I lost my apartment. God's grace let me find a place to stay while I was out there on the streets. I found God's favor. And that's what woke me up.
So
Waking up every day.
let me ask you a question. How did you end up going into drug life? Because you just said what brought you out. So how did you end up there?
Like many people, the stresses of life, but what really brought me into it was when I lost my grandmother. That was my rock, my shield, my best friend, and I did not expect her to just up and down on me. Even though she told me someday I'm not gonna be her baby, and I laugh at her and tell her, "You're gonna be here. You're gonna live longer than I am." But it's not because the it's not that was just a big part of my heart. I talked to her every day, every problem I had, and when my rock wasn't there, I found another one. Try to cope. I use drugs. I use it to cope. It's coping with the pain of stress and the pain of grief. I ended up in the drug use, being curious, being around some people, telling my story, and then this one lady, I'm not gonna say her name, was like, "Have you ever tried this?" And I was like, "Nah." I seen what it's done to several of my family members. I don't want to try that. But at the end, well, I was feeling like, well, ain't nobody here to stop me. My grandma gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't have. It was just. It was a loss. It was. I got through it. It was my way of dealing with the grief.
So in your grieving process, you just chose to be numb, just be numb.
I didn't
Somebody
want
said,
to. I didn't,
try this, and just, that was it.
that was it. I was numb to it. And you wouldn't look at me. You can't look at me to tell. I was an everyday user. So for me to be 50 days clean, that's saying something. Because if I probably weren't where I am right now, my safe spot, I'd probably be right there right now on that corner trying to find me a hustle or a way to get high. And it's not easy out there in the streets for ladies. And any woman out there listening, and it's not just the cocaine addiction, the heroin addiction, uh, whatever kind of addiction. Any woman out there on them streets, no, it is not easy for a lady out there on them streets on drugs. You can either have to have a hustle or you're gonna have to ante up.
Yeah,
That wasn't the life. That wasn't the life I wanted for myself. And
and
I
I'm
know there are a lot of people listening to me who probably can't relate, and some of them probably listen saying she full of BS. She's still using, but I'm not. I have too much to live for. I had two beautiful children that I introduced you to earlier. You see me. I have that to live for. I have goals on going to school. There were some goals that came out of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to do something else different with my life. And you can do it. You can do it.
so what were
Follow
you
on
doing
your
before? What were you doing before you lost your grandma and before, like, career wise? Because I know you're DJ Lady
career
P,
life.
but what were you, what was that? How did you get the name? What were you doing?
I was a DJ. I came onto the scene about almost 8 years ago with this group called MCDE. Uh, I was a DJ. I DJ'd. I played slow jams and quiet storms and old school rap, and I played it all. I didn't have no genre that I didn't touch.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
so
before
what's the
that,
career change? What's the career change? Where are you going now?
I am looking into going into culinary arts right now. Yes,
What
ma'am.
what made you decide to that?
Oh, well, I went to Job Corps, and that was one of my electives in Job Corps. I just never pursued it.
Wow.
Along with nursing, I never pursued that. Along with being computer lit, I never pursued that. But I really love to cook. I love to cook. You know what I mean? I love to cook. No.
so
uh,
so I'm gonna ask you another question. And this question, you've kind of touched on it, but I want you to go deeper. Because being on the street for 2 years, I have seen addiction, crack addiction specifically, from the outside. Being attached, dating somebody who was dealing with it, being married to somebody who was dealing with it. And my mother dealt with it. So I've dealt with it a lot in my life. And seeing it from the outside still doesn't give you the insight as to what says, okay, I'm done with this and I'm gonna pull out of it. And so the one thing that um I want to touch on and have you go deeper on is how has faith shaped the way you handle your business and or daily life?
I had to step out on faith to be where I am now. I had to really get down on my knees and beg God to take that taste from my mouth. Because the saying goes, once an addict, always an addict. You're always in recovery. But having faith, having a pastor or somebody that in the church, they're not necessarily in church, but somebody who knows the word, help you along with, when you're feeling weak. When those first few weeks, those are the hardest. But you have to step out on faith and believe that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I quit cold turkey. That's hard to do. Crack is the number two drug in the world. Used to be number one is number two, following the myth. Um, Stepping out on faith, yeah, yeah. I see y'all say she itching now. My shoulder itching. It's dry. I don't have the itch, so don't get to thinking she fiending
Don't get it
now.
twisted, honey.
I forgot to put lotion on before the interview, and this garage is hot. No, but ooh, it is hot here. Put the fan on. Um, but faith has taken me a long way. I go to church every Sunday. I'm in my Bible almost every day. I'm praying almost every day. God, take this away from me. God, let me think positive thoughts and not of what I would be doing or what I could be doing. If it wasn't for the Lord, where would I be today? Somewhere dead. And that I see myself dying out there on them streets. That's not what I wanted. I didn't have. Unfortunately, I had to give my kids to my mom. I had to give my mom partial custody of my kids, and because I lost my babies. When I had to do that, when I had to take something that I carried for 9 months and give it to somebody else temporarily, just temporarily, that hurt. And I started to lose faith, and I started to be harder into my addiction because my babies are here. My babies are here. And then one day I heard a voice say, "You want your babies, don't you? Do what you're still doing and doing the same thing for. You can't get them doing that." And every time I used, I heard that voice, and you say you want your babies. There wasn't nobody but God talking to me, telling me, you need to put that stuff down so you get what you want. And I put it down April 5th, Easter Day. I put it down on Resurrection Day. I laid down my dead spirit and I wrote and I resurrected this new spirit that I am having. I'm building this new spirit because God ain't finished with me yet. There's been some temptations. Even though in my 51 days strong, there's been some temptations. The devil has called me to tempt me to get back out there. I've had people that I smoke with ask me to do this, do that. But I even moved towns and he still followed me and called on me. It's it's I thank God. I'm grateful. I'm more grateful than anything. Because his mercy and his grace has been shown. Like I said earlier, there are women and men who have been doing this for over 20 years. And that's all their life is about. I was out there and I stayed with this one woman who, me being a responsible person on drugs, asked her if she had her bills and stuff straight. She said she did. When all the money was gone, and I'm gonna let y'all know, it was over $3,000. When all the money was gone, she said her bills were gone. She needed to pay her bills. The water got cut off. The lights got cut off. The gas was next to be cut off. I couldn't be living like that. I wasn't raised like that. We go through some things just for a 45 to an hour high. And then you got to do it all over again. You wasting money. You wasting time. You're not even wasting God's favor because God looks over you every day you do that and your heart don't stop. He look over you every day and you're not being raped. Been there. He look over you every day and you ain't been. It's just so much that he has shown me. I had people set up to get beat up. I had people, I done stole from people that I love. I have done some things that I am ashamed of. I know I said don't be ashamed of anything you do. But when you are using your addiction to get over on your family, your friends, or anybody you know that will just give to you out of their heart, you should be ashamed of it because you're using that person. But you don't know because you're in your addiction and you're sick. And sometimes that's the only way you feel like you're going to get that hit that day. If it wasn't for God's grace, I'll tell you again, I'd be dead. I knew enough to call on God and say, this is it. And for the last 3 months that I was doing it, I said, God, this is it. Take it away from me. And I still found myself in front of that pipe or with the wrong crowd. When enough was enough, I left. I called my babies. I said, Mama's coming home. And I've been here ever since.
You know what? I'm proud of you. I was proud of you before you started talking, but I'm proud of you because I have been the relative on the other side. Because not my current husband, but my husband prior to my children's father, lost his life to cancer and crack cocaine. So we laid him to rest because the kind of cancer he had wasn't fatal. Like, people don't die from prostate cancer.
Oh,
if you die from prostate cancer, you are just super unhealthy. And he wouldn't stay sober, and the crack grows the cancer. It makes it aggressive.
That's what it does. That's
and
what these drugs do.
I watched him die. And every time somebody comes out and they live to see another day, that does something for me. And the fact that you failed 2 years and came out cold turkey. And he did this 20 years, went to jail 2 or 3 times, 20 plus years, because he was older than me. He was in his 60s when he passed away. And so left my children without their father. And it's a lot. I am so proud of you because I know from the outside how hard it is because I watched it and I watched what it can do. And I know that my God is able and he's greater than anything that we can ask or think. I know he is. And so sitting here talking to you, Tecarra, I feel it a privilege and an honor. Some people might say 51 days isn't a long enough to give your testimony, right? But
If
I
you don't
say,
know my story, you ain't walked in my shoes.
right.
You
And
don't know what I've been through.
I say that those 51 days are a testament to the power of God. Because when you said I quit cold turkey, that's God. That's God. Because you couldn't have done it. Cold turkey is one of those things where you could have seized, you could have convulsed, you could have a whole lot of stuff could have happened to you quitting cold turkey because your body could have flipped out and anything could have happened. But God.
Right.
But God. And because you held on to God's unchanging hand and he brought you out. That is why I do Testimony Tuesday. That is why I do this, for stories like yours. Stories that God, this is a miracle. And people don't realize how much of a miracle this is. Because, oh, she was just, no. That drug don't let people go when it got them.
It don't.
It's like this. Crack gets you, it's like this. It's like this. And you have to, for you to be able to fight your way out, on your own is a testament to the fact that God's grace and mercy was on you and that he healed you. He healed you. And that is the most amazing thing. That is the most amazing thing. When everybody gets a mustard seed worth of faith.
Yes.
And when you use your little bit of faith to come out of depression and anger and grief and hurt and to come back and say, I'm going to reclaim my family and my kids. I'm not doing this. I wasn't raised like this. That's amazing to me. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I thought I heard my child crying. She wondered what they look when I thought I heard my baby
No,
crying.
I figured you was listening to something. Like you listening to see what was going on in the other room. That's parent
that
face.
mama
I know
look.
about parent. Look, that's parent face. Who? What? Somebody fall? So I have another question. What's one scripture or principle that you live by?
The scripture that I live by, I always have been since I was little. And it's more blessed to give than to receive. That's one. Honor thy mother and thy father that thy days may be long. But on the flip side, parents, do not provoke your children to evil. Those are the ones I live by.
Why?
Why? Well, I'm a natural giver. I've always wondered why, but I'd rather give something. Now I love to receive. I don't know, but I give you the shirt off my back. You know what I'm saying? I'm a natural giver. Like I said, I give you the shirt off my back. To receive something is great, but when you give it and you give it from the bottom of your heart, it actually makes you feel. It makes me. It makes me. I can't speak for other people. It makes me feel like I've done my good deed for the day. Honor thy mother and thy father. You only get one mother and one father. No matter what they do to you, no matter how they treat you, you got to treat them with respect and honor God gonna cut your days short. That's just what it says right there in the book. I don't want my days to be cut short because I'm disrespecting my mama. And not to say I haven't, but you gotta ask God for forgiveness when you do that too. But I don't want my days to be cut short because I'm being disrespectful to the one who gave me life. Without my mama and my daddy, I wouldn't have life. So I gotta give them respect. They made me who I am.
I had to learn that the hard way because my mother fought alcoholism and drugs as well. I was, in fact, I came here a drug baby. So when I was born, I was addicted to cocaine. And I resented and I hated my mother for years. And I didn't forgive her until she died. And I didn't repent for it until she was already gone. And I didn't understand what she had gone through until she was way older. Or till I was way older, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so I know that that scripture, you will pay for those things in your lifetime when you don't honor your parents.
Yes.
So,
Somebody knocking on the door for the kids. Okay.
how did
Um.
you come to know the Lord? What's your salvation story?
I got saved when I was 6. I don't remember what. I don't really don't remember the. Can they get away from the door? I can hear it. Oh, please. Everybody gonna catch it. Oh. My sister was like, I told them they can go outside. I was like, okay, can you tell her to get away from the door? We can hear them. But what was the question? Because I told you before we drove through the jungle around here.
I understand. Um, what is your salvation story?
I got saved when I was 6. My pastor then, may he rest in peace, Lord Anthony Fuller. I seen a baptism. I knew everything I needed to know because I went to vacation Bible school. I went to BTU. I went to Sunday school. So I'm a church girl. My great grandfather was a deacon in the church. My grandmother was a deaconess. So I grew up in the church. I didn't want to get saved. At first, you see baptism, you're like, ooh. I saw my first baptism. I was like, ooh, the church got food. The church got food. But when I learned what it was for, you know what I'm saying? And I started studying baptism and how it helps you, how Jesus was baptized and God was pleased. I wanted to do, I wanted God to be pleased with me. So I got baptized. And along with that baptism, I started singing in the youth choir, and I graduated to the adult choir, and then I was a BTU secretary. I was in the church. I was handling them funds,
Not
baby.
BTU secretary. Oh my God.
Yes, I was BTU secretary. I was some other kind of secretary in the church. I was in there. I worked in the nursery, and this is all while I'm still young. I'm up until I was like 16, 17. I worked in the church. I participated. I did my part. But my pastor asked if when I got baptized, and he sings this one song. He sings this song to this day, and I still get happy. I was 6, 7 years old, and I got happy off this song. And I know everybody knows. I won't complain. Everything I've been through thus far, I'm not complaining about it. Why complain when I can embellish on it? I can make what I thought was bad better. If I did it without God then, I'm gonna have to do it with God now. God makes it better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest person on religion and faith, but I do know where my help comes from. I do know when to fall on my face and ask God, tell God this is too much for me. I need help. I don't fast. I don't think people like me like missing meals, but but baby, I'm gonna be hungry all day. You're the fastest no. I don't fast off of food, but I fast off of something else like TV or music. Since I'm a DJ, I may not play music for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? That's my fast. I give my 10% when I can. Taxes, bills, president. I ain't gonna go there.
No politics. No
Okay.
politics.
Politics. No, no politics. But I do what I can when I can. I give as much as I can. God knows my heart. And a lot of people say that when they have some people say when some people say God knows my heart. That's just something they say to get over with what they did when they knowing they weren't doing their best. Other people, when they say God knows my heart, you gave your best, and He knows that was your best, so He gonna bless you for what you tried to do.
And I think that sometimes we get stuck in traditions, and so it shouldn't be a tradition. It should be something that we do from our heart. And
Yes,
so if your heart posture is not towards the things of God, and you're doing it because, as you say, I grew up in church. Me too. So I learned the things I learned. It's a lot of stuff that I know today that they would have been like, "Oh, that's not no," but it's in your word. This is in the Bible. So how can you say this, but this is in the Bible? But it's
mhm,
tradition, and it's what we're being taught, and it's oh, you got to do this and you got to do that and you have to do this and you have to do that. Some of us grew up on the you can't wear red and you can't go to the movies and you can't. It's a lot
yeah,
of traditions that weren't even in the word. They were just
yeah,
traditions. And so I was telling somebody the other day, when you go through the four stages of faith, when you leaning on your mama, your daddy faith, or your pastor's faith, or your uncle them, cousin them faith, because they've been in church their whole life, and you
that
leaning
part,
on them, and then when they screw up, like for you, when your grandmother left you here, when she passed,
yeah,
at that point, your faith is like, who I'm gonna lean on, who I'm gonna, and see,
exactly. I
and
was
then your
lost.
faith got tested, and for 2 years you ran around because it was like my faith just got shook. You took my rock from me, God. My faith just got shook. And then when you get in this place now where you got your personal faith and you woke up one morning and said, "Hey, what the? I'm not supposed to be here."
Yeah,
And so in this last 51 days, God has been maturing your faith and taking you to this place where you know that you know. And that's why I understand when they say, excuse me, when they say new levels, new devils.
yes, yes. When you get to
Because
the
people will
stage
do
of
this.
recovery where I'm at, that saying right there, new levels, new devils, they come out, they come flying. They don't want to see you make that 2 month mark. They don't want to see you make that 6 month mark. They don't want to see you make that year mark. And that what I heard and what I believe is when the devil is testing you or coming after you like that, you a threat to him. Baby, I love being a threat. I'm gonna be that threat. Keep on. That lets me know what I'm doing is right. I'm standing on the right now. I was a soldier for you then, but I'm not a soldier for you now. I'm going back home to my father, who I never should have left. I'm getting back on the battlefield, and you better believe we're going to war.
And that right there is the nature of what this is all about. I call my audience the Remnant Road Warriors because I wake up and this show airs this show starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. So people be on their way to work.
Yeah.
And when I say remnant road warriors, because the remnant are those that remain. And so when you on the road and you're a warrior and you on the battlefield, this is a journey. It's not, and it's not. So when you say for me, I came into ministry for people like you. I came into ministry for people covered in tattoos. I came into ministry for people that have piercings and green hair and eyebrows and mohawks. And I came into the ministry for the people that nobody wants to deal with because society says this person is a lost cause. And my God says otherwise. Jesus sat with everybody. He didn't care who they was. Why? Because he had to get with his people so that he can pull them out. I can't pull you out if I'm not willing to get dirty with you. And so your testimony tells people that it don't matter where I've been, it matters where I'm going. And if I can make it out, you can too. And that is the meat and potatoes of your story. If Tecarra can do it, anybody can do it.
I done seen people younger than me down the same drugs that I was using. People I may have seen maybe 2-3 weeks. Oh, they died. Where they died? Oh, they was found in the house by themselves. Somebody gave them a hot shot, left that poor baby. This little girl that I knew since she was little, she went out one night and somebody put something in her drink and it flipped her brain and she started using cocaine. She was on cocaine longer than I was. And just a few months ago, because I used to keep her, when she had a baby, I used to keep her baby. Because her mom was on drugs. But a few months ago, she passed. Somebody gave her a hot shot. For those of you who know what a hot shot is, somebody put something in her drugs and it killed her. And that was sad for me. That was another wake-up call. God gives you warnings.
Warning comes
He
before
gives you
destruction.
warnings.
Warning comes before destruction, baby.
And I seen all the warnings he would give me. Warning after warning after warning. Okay, one of these days it ain't gonna be no warning and that destruction gonna come. And I wasn't willing to take that chance on meeting on what God's destruction is. God's destruction is way more worse than what man can destroy you. You might think you have it. One world, you might take. We addicts have a saying. One hit is too much, and 1,000 is never too much.
I've heard that before.
It means from your first hit, well, that's the hit you should never take. I will never take anyone down this road. You lose so much of yourself, your self-respect, your self-worth. It's too much losing going on. If you're not responsible, you lose your home, you lose your family. I know somebody right now, somebody I used to kick it with, called me talking about they lost their kids. Nothing odd. And I told that person I've been trying to help you for years. Even in my addiction, I was trying to help you. Warning comes before destruction. And you kept playing with God. Saying, oh, I promise God I ain't gonna do this no more. If he get me out of this, if he get me out of that.
Ooh, my husband calls that light switch faith. I turn it on when I want you, and I turn it off when I don't.
Yes. Do not. And as soon as God grants you your wish, get back to the drugging, get back to the alcohol, back to chasing the women and whatever else you're chasing. And God got tired. And I got tired. I tell them, look, I'm working on my own. My son, I'm working on my own recovery. I'm working on my own stuff. I can't be piling on your problems. I can't pile on your problems with my problems right now because God said it's not time for me to help you with your problems anymore. I've been there, done that. It's time for me to work on myself. Come here, little boy. You and your sister, come here. No. I had to work on myself. Yeah, I want to see my reasons for coming out. This is one of the reasons.
Ooh, he looked just
I
like you.
said, God,
Jesus.
I
Ooh, that
can't
boy
do it
looked
no
just
more.
like you exactly.
I was mad at myself. Scoot under, roll under. Help your sister. We'll go in the house. Come around.
It's at the bed. And
The other reason she's giving me a difficult time, but I got a 10-year-old and this preteen for to come through this stuff. I missed out on a lot in 2 years. The growth spurts, the physical changes. You missed that out. You miss out on that as a parent. It's my little boy. This my little munchkin. This my oldest. This the other reason. This is Miracle.
Hi, Miracle.
Hi.
Bye. Waking up every morning crying for them. This is my water. I put it in there. Thank you.
That's the other one.
Wanting them by my side and stuff. Like I said, my last 3 months. God, I want my kids. God, I want my kids. It, no, because your friends and you are affecting my interview right now. No. Can y'all get out the driveway? I can hear y'all.
And you know what? normally I would edit this out, but I'm not. You know why? I'm not. You know why? Because and as a mother, because they are your reason for even having a testimony.
Mm-hmm.
They matter more than anything because you wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for God and them kids.
You're right.
So they are your reason for even having a testimony to tell.
Even though God took my grandmother, which was my rock, I didn't realize He gave me two new ones.
Little bitty ones.
Little bitty ones.
Little bitty ones that grow and get bigger.
Man, tell me about it.
So let me ask you, I got another question for you. I got plenty of questions. If you could leave my listeners with one word of encouragement, what would it be?
Believe in yourself. If I can do it, you can do it. May not be cold turkey. There were some times when I thought I may have needed a facility. If you need a facility, if you really wanting to get help, seek help. The help is out there. If you want to talk to me, um, was that my real remnant address email?
Huh?
Was that my real remnant in email?
Right. Tecarra or DJ Lady T at remnantradio.online. Yes.
Hit me up in my inbox.
Yes.
Sister, she'll make sure I got it. Sister Tanya, make sure I got it. She'll make sure I get it. I'll hit you up.
Look, was that the real
I'm
thing?
looking for a sponsor myself, but I'm strong enough to now. I'm strong enough myself that I feel like I could be a sponsor. Because even in my addiction, I spoke the word of God. It's 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 for those who look at it's harder than it looks. For those who are out there trying, it's easy. It's mind over matter. And when I say that, this is my saying when it comes to mind over matter. It I don't mind and it doesn't matter. Meaning, I don't mind not doing it. And it don't matter that I ain't doing it. Don't look back. Once you plant your foot forward and you say, that's what I'm going to do, the devil is going to come at you from all angles. Your best friend gonna be your enemy. You think gonna be your enemy. He gonna come at you through your best friend, gonna come through your immediate family. He gonna come through you if you got a boyfriend or girl, he gonna come at you in all ways. Once he loses you, if the devil is messing with you, he know he's gonna lose you for real. He know that's one soldier I can't afford to lose. This soldier brought me so many souls that I may have in my own little way, not even knowing. But I can't bring no more souls to you. My venture now is to go and find those souls that I brought to you and bring them over here to where I am. So my advice to you would be, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on God. Believe in yourself. It starts within you. Nobody can make you stop unless you want to. It starts here. First, it starts here. But you got to feel it in here. Think it up here and feel it in here. And then you go here with it. And then you got it. Just know when you go here, you move yourself out of the way. Let go and let God. That's what that meant. The poem Footsteps says, well, I only saw one. That's because he's carrying us. Right now, I see only one set of footprints, but I know he's carrying me. And he's going to carry you too. Just put your faith in him and you go a mighty long way. 51 days in, cold turkey. There was a time when that wouldn't have meant nothing. I would have been going to try to throw that away. But as you just see, my 2 reasons for living, my 2 reasons for giving it up, I'm not willing to lose them to nobody. I done had people that were smoking with me call CPS on me because I wouldn't share with them. But God was there in the midst. And my babies, every time somebody called CPS, God was there in the midst. And I never lost my kids. Never. Whereas I just told you a story about a friend of mine who just lost their kids.
Right.
I'm not going out here playing with God. If you come out here, if you bring God into this, you got to be you got to be sincere with it. When you let him in it, you got to pull yourself out of it. And I know that's easier said than done. Because a lot of us have a lot of self. We have a lot
Shoot.
have a lot of us have a lot of self.
My
A lot
name.
of us want to do it our way and God moving too slow and I want it done now and I was like that. Seriously, I was really like that. But once I just realized, you said not on my time, but your time. Once that was done, hallelujah. Once I realized it wasn't on my time, but his time. And you'll know because you'll feel it. Every time you pick up whatever drug of choice or whatever it is you use, every time you pick it up, something to tug at you. You won't feel right. You'll be high, but you won't be high, and you know what I'm talking about. For those who use, you know what I'm talking about. You'll get that head buzz, but you won't get that buzz you was looking for. That's God telling you it's time to put that down. And I listen. I may have bumped my heads along the wall a couple of ways listening. You know what I'm saying? I might have hit a few walls, or ran into a few, concrete slabs. I'm hard headed. That's the human part of me.
You don't
But
look like what you've been through, mama.
I thank you. Thank you. When I first got here, almost 2 months ago, you see these chubby cheeks? I didn't have them. They look like this. I, and I'm not gonna say I. I know I say I a lot, but not I. Me, with the help of God, got to where I am right now. I have a praying mother who's still alive. I'm lucky to have a praying mother. Ain't nothing like a praying mother that's gonna be there and have your back no matter what you go through. And there was time when I was out there, and sometimes parents get tired. They wash their hands. I can't. And she was letting me bump my head. She was letting me bump my head. And I'm not gonna tell no tales. I'm not gonna put my family out there, but me and Sister Tanya have something the same. Mine survived though. And when I seen her go through her struggle, I knew I didn't want to go through that struggle. But something in life later on made me have to walk in her shoes because I was judging her.
Mm. Yes, Lord. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
I was judging the one person who always got my back. The one person I knew I could give my kids to if something ever happened to me. The one, but sometimes when you're growing up, you don't, because
Don't
being
see
the
it.
oldest, sometimes being the oldest, you don't feel that your parent, you feel like, oh, she's just, they always picking on me. They always want me to do something. Won't they ask one of the other siblings to do this? Not knowing they're preparing you for this world. It ain't that they don't love you. They love you enough. Like I tell my kids, the world ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing for you. And I'm not either. I'm not gonna baby you. Because the world ain't gonna baby.
Sure
I
not.
did this. And I let y'all see mama go through this enough to where when it was getting real bad, y'all never then my kids have never seen me get high. They knew what I was in the bathroom doing, but they never seen me do it. I asked my daughter, this was another turning point. Do you know what I'm in the bathroom doing when I have the door locked? She said yes. I asked her, how does that make you feel? She said, it hurts my feelings, Mom. It makes me sad.
I had to rock you. That had to rock you. And wait, before you say anything else, that's how I stopped smoking weed, was that. Because I got sick. And my daughter, she 24 now. She was 10. And I'm throwing up. And she's, Mommy, I'm so sorry you sick. I was like, oh, no, I'm done. That's it. Because her, she's the reason why. And that people think that's not but no, that could lead to a whole lot of other stuff if you ain't careful.
That was my first drug, which led to powder cocaine, which led to crack cocaine. It is a gateway.
Yeah.
But me and one of my friends had an argument about that. I say, some people say it's a gateway because that's how most people start out. I said, some people just don't start out straight on weed. They start out on other stuff and then migrate over to the less of the evil. But either way, that's not what your body is a temple. What you put in your body affects you.
Yes, ma'am.
What I was putting in my body was killing me.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. I seen my skin hanging off my cheeks, and I seen I was skinny. Yeah, I ain't never been skinny. I was skinty. I've always been 200 plus, but I got down to 155 pounds. I am 250, maybe 260 now. I didn't like it. I felt like I looked sick. Not having a car, They're walking everywhere. Shh. I would walk from the east side of town to the south side of town just to get high. That's about an hour. Now I walk from the south side of town to the north side of town. From the north side of town to the west side of town. If they was calling, if there was a party and they was calling me, I was walking. But when my baby said, "Yes, mom, I know what you're doing," and it hurt my feelings, I cried. I cried. And I went in the bathroom and I got high. It, it was an emotional high. I went to the bathroom right after she said that. I had already had my stuff. I wasn't gonna waste the money. I'm just being honest.
I don't. I want. That's the only thing I want you to do is be honest.
I wasn't gonna waste no money. And I cried. And I did not enjoy that one. I didn't. And then from here on out, all I could hear was my baby every now and then when I thought about my children, because that stuff will make you forget who you are. When I thought about my children, I thought about my daughter saying, "I'm sad, mom. I'm sad." Because I made them a promise that day when she said it. Made both my children a promise. Mama's gonna stop. Mama's gonna stop. And I was thinking I was gonna stop right then and there. God had other plans. I had to see some more stuff before I timed out.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to see it. Ooh. A pastor friend I know, she says, you have to see it before you see it. So you have to see it in the spirit before you see it in the natural. And your daughter saying that was you seeing your way out. Even though
Mm-hmm.
you didn't see it right in that moment,
Right.
you knew that your kids, that statement was like, my kids will be my reason to not do this no more.
Yes. And I would go out and I'll be like, people like, "Where your kids at? Where your kids at? Oh, you ain't got your kids. You need to get off for your kids. You ain't I ain't never see." And the same people asking me about my kids, the same person was like, "Here, get out. Here, get out." How you gonna ask me about my kids? Tell me I need to get better for my kids. But then in the same note, give me something
You know
that
what
you
I
know is gonna
found
keep
out?
me from my kids.
What I found out is if God will use a donkey, he'll use a devil too. So sometimes when you out and see, and I just about 2 weeks ago now, because I teach Bible study online on TikTok, and it like on Thursdays that same study will come back on here,
Yes.
and I what I said was even when you in your foolishness, God is calling you. So if I'm out here in my foolishness and I'm doing what I'm doing, because just because I wasn't on crack don't mean I wasn't out there doing. I was doing.
That part.
I wasn't always Elder
Everybody got a
Tanya.
testimony.
I wasn't always Evangelist Bunting. I wasn't always, Shandorable Sheha. I was not always her. So just because when I was out there in my mess, your turning, that didn't mean that God wasn't sending people in my life, somebody coming to say something. Somebody, and they was out there doing what I was doing with me, doing what I was doing. But they would say, you know,
Yeah.
you better than this. You know, you shouldn't be doing this. And you looking at them, how you look at them like, how you gonna say that and then hand me a rock?
Right?
They're sent. They don't even know what they're saying. God will plant it on anybody because if he can use a donkey, he
He
can
done
use a
planted,
fool.
my last few months, he planted it almost 2 or 3 people at a time that I was smoking with. Everybody was there, and you need to get your life together. Even though they was handing me that, they was giving me that message, and when the message came out their mouth, I could feel it wasn't them.
Right. Because
I,
God will speak. If I can speak through a donkey, I can speak through a fool.
I,
So, yes, ma'am. Girl, this has been, oh my God, this is another, woo, this right here. This speaks on my heart really hard because my mom, my kids, both of my kids' fathers, my mother, it. I have been to the mountaintop. Ooh. And my husband over here texting me crazy stuff. He said God does his best work when you in your sin.
Amen.
So I'm going to leave it right there. Everybody, Remnant Road Warriors, I need y'all to get at Miss DJ Lady T. DJ Lady T at remnantradio.online. And before we get off, I will I will send you your hookup. I need your email again. Send it to me so that I can send you your forward to that so you can get emails when people send them.
Okay.
Y'all, get at this lady. You need to talk to her. You need to talk to her so that you can understand what it means to have faith for real. Everybody in their nice
And if
houses
you're
and
out
nice
there
cars.
and you kick it, I'm also looking for a sponsor. So if you're out there and you have more experience than I do, I'm also looking for a sponsor to help me in my journey with this addiction.
This is somebody worth talking to, y'all. What's your social media?
My social media, I am Tecarra Monche. Ooh, I'm about to spell that.
No, you don't.
T-E.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to spell it. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But I'm gonna put it on the screen. But so Tecarra, Tecca.
Tecarra. Monsha, Monsha, 82 on Instagram.
Okay. So I'm gonna put it on the screen for everybody so that they can see it. And for those, and I forgot we're gonna be on the radio too. But for those of y'all that are listening, you can get at Miss Tecarra and y'all reach out to her. Reach out to her. Share your testimony with her. Because she needs to be encouraged the same way you need to be encouraged. And she needs to hear your story the same way you heard hers.
Yeah.
Woo! I didn't get that. Could you try phone. Nobody asked you. All right.
It's time to go.
Right. All right, y'all. This has been another Testimony Tuesday in the can. I love y'all to the moon and back. Love, peace, hair grease. I'm out, y'all.